You got U.S. District Judge Anita Brody approving changes to the concussion settlement agreement with former players. I hate that there's constantly a settlement agreement, and then who's in charge of really handing out the money? I want to know that, because as Candace told us, there can always be an audit here. So I don't know, you have a son, and I don't know how you feel about football, and I get it, that this is a game that people love, and you should be able to love and pursue your dream, but I don't understand wanting to be part of this institution, I guess I would call it.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary because, a lot of people, they feel like that could be a way out for their kids, a way out of the situations they may be living in their home environment, or a way to make it rich and, get all this money. But, unfortunately, a lot of players, they don't make it to the NFL, but they still may get those concussions. So it's a risky chance that you're taking. And then even after that, all that money may not be able to save your mental stability that you have to go through after you've had these concussions. So it is a serious issue. At this point, we're only agreeing to play tag football because we're like, I don't think it's worth that. We have to play some other type of sport or find another way, because it's not worth it.
No, he's too smart.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's too scary. But, and some of these legal cases have been going on since 2012, and we're still in the midst of this and trying to get these players. Some of them have already passed on since now.
Yeah, and it's always the black players, too. As, Candace reminded us that there was $800 million's already been handed out, I think she said, so another billion's going to be added to this. But that money goes fast, and when you think about what some of these players are suffering with, and this whole thing about where they were on the spectrum of intelligence and what's left, and this is how we decide who gets the money. White players don't have to go through this. It's just hideous. And I love well, I don't love it. I hate the gall. The NFL steps before, releases a statement, and then everybody moves on saying, nothing to see here, Flores, there is no discrimination, race norming, we've agreed to end the practice, nothing to see here. There's a lot more to see here and uncover. And so when these ex-players say, no, you're not just going to throw another $1 billion at us, and then we'll see who gets the piece of the pie. The Department of Justice, do your job. I understand there's a lot of jobs to do these days, but the Department of Justice absolutely has to investigate this, because you can call it race norming, or you can call it discrimination, which is against the law.
And if people aren't clear what we're speaking about, then I encourage them to see that 2015 Will Smith movie called Concussion, where they talked about the effects of concussions have on these pro athletes and how it could just steer them in the wrong direction for their lives. And sometimes they don't even have control over the decisions that they're making because of the mental breakdown that the concussions have caused to their brain and to certain situations in their health. So I encourage people to get that, to really understand some of the aspects of what's happening here, because it is a situation that's impacting a lot of these players, and a lot of them aren't even speaking about it. A lot of them don't want the stigma associated with them, especially if they're still playing, because they want to be seen as being able to do their job for many years to come. So I think it's personally affecting a lot more people than we're even hearing about.
I do too. And there is concrete evidence. Junior Seau, remember him? An extraordinary player, gone. Aaron Hernandez, an extraordinary player who did some awful things, murdered people. They studied his brain. Did that have an effect? He committed suicide in prison. Did that have an effect on who he became? You just don't know. But there's much more to unpack here, and it just seems like the NFL that has, antitrust status, and they've got all of these other breaks and stadiums and local markets and this and that, and they are printing money. And to do this, to try to hold on to, just your fists are clenched so tight, to just hold on to more of it, I think it's sick. And it's so harmful to these players out there. It's so harmful. It really is.